Your grace alone me free. Your grace abound. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this weather briefing here today. And we are excited to bring you into the weather office today to talk about the weather this evening into tomorrow morning. And we will get right into it. Sorry about the music there. I just love it. We'll share it a little bit every day. Tomorrow, don't forget, we got, I'm going to say weather depending. Morning coffee with Brad. We might have morning coffee with Brad early tomorrow morning. It looks like as we get into some of the weather. I keep looking over my screen. I got a new tool that I'm going to share with you guys today. We're going to go a little bit through some of the weather and kind of talk about it. So kind of happy that Don turned me on to this, and we're going to be able to jump into some more data. And we have, just a better tool overall to be able to jump in deeper and basically provide more coverage for what we've been able to do so far. So huge blessing there that's been able to come through, and we're able to share this information and get it out to you guys so that we can better support the community here. So welcome to the weather briefing. My name is Brad with Huntington County Storm Chasers. Not a meteorologist, but have studied for 12 years. More than happy to share all of my information with you. If you have any comments, please go ahead and throw them in there. I will do my absolute best to answer all of your questions. So we're going to go ahead and jump in. I'm going to get my face off of here. This is our new tool through Weatherfront, and that's what we're going to be using from this point on. So you can see it's got an active radar on there. You can actually see a little hand on there. So a little bit of cool stuff that we can do. I can see it a lot better on here. I'm working on getting the purchase set up so I can use it on multiple devices so that I'll be able to use it on my iPhone, be able to use it on here, and my iPad while I'm storm chasing. We'll be able to quad screen it and go over some different data and things like that. Hey, Jeff, Dominic will get into Columbia City here shortly and let you guys know what we're looking at. So right now, that's current look at your radar. We got velocity on the right. We got reflectivity on the left. So you'll see that we got some weather up there around the Chicagoland area up into Grand Rapids. As time moves forward, that's going to kind of move our direction, but we're not really expecting this to really hit us until overnight hours between 1 and 5 a.m. And I'm using that gracefully, and we'll kind of get into a little bit about why I'm saying 1 and 5. But you can see that there's a couple severe thunderstorm warnings up there right now. It's really not ramped up quite yet. So yeah, it's just really getting started. So like I said, really excited for this tool. There's a lot of different things that we can use in here. Even though this is right now still the free product, but we'll be able to dig in a little bit deeper to some of the different weather things, especially in the models. So you guys have seen that in the past where, I've shared the weather models and outlooks and things like that from many different platforms, right? And overall, this is going to save me a lot of money every year as I kind of go through and kind of pull this back into one tool, which is awesome to have. So, kudos to the developers of this because they're going to put everybody else out of business. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at the outlooks from the Storm Prediction Center. Categorical, we are in a 2 out of 5. That's for a slight risk today. You'll see us located over here in the Fort Wayne, Indiana area, and you can see I can actually just pull up the whole map for the whole country. So we can talk a lot of things. We can click on that. We have a 2% risk for tornado, 5% risk for hail, and 15% risk for wind. If you guys want the discussion, we can get into that a little bit deeper here shortly. Now, tomorrow, we're still in the same slight risk scenario, 2% tornado, 5% hail, 15% wind, possibly seeing Monday into Tuesday, that 2% and 5% for tornado and hail, respectively, getting upgraded. Now, Tuesday, I've talked a lot about Tuesday being possibly our go-to day. But you'll see that we are just below that slight risk area. Things have kind of shifted a little south. They're not really giving us the tornado and other categorical things, so we're gonna have to keep an eye on that. Um, so we might be looking Monday night into Tuesday now. So we'll keep an eye on that as we move forward. Um, and then, we have excessive rainfall outlook for us. We are in the 15% chance of that. We could see over 2 inches of rain. So this is kind of the discussion for it. So these are things that, tools that I just got one spot for, which is really awesome. We can get the CPC outlooks for forecast discussions and everything like that. So I've spent the last probably hour and a half nerding out on this. Precipitation, it looks like it's going to dry out for the rest of August. So looks like, not saying it is. So we'll get through the models on that and go from there. So as we get into the weather models, I don't know what that is. Hail report. I thought I had that shut off. Anyway, so sorry about that. All right, so this is not what's going to happen. This is what may happen, right? So we zoom way in here. Hopefully everybody knows where Huntington is. I got this little tool right here. If you don't know, we're in that blue circle, okay? Now, that thing is booking still. So this is, you see at the top of your screen, about 4 a.m., right? So things are starting to move in. We got so when you see these shadows right here on this, that's a concern area for me. So that's what I like to look at. Maybe we can use a little bit of a different color, maybe. Let's try that. Anyway, so we see that shaded area there. That is a possible hail path. So we're going to have to keep an eye on that as time goes forward here. So, and then we look at Huntington. Yet again, we got those shaded areas, right? That's what we're watching for. So hail is definitely a possibility tonight as we get through some of this weather. And then we should be able to get rid of this. And then as we get into the 5 a.m. time frame, we can look at the sounding. If it wants to pop up, we can see we have a good generated slinky. We have a probability of 0.19 for a tornado, which is actually kind of significant. So I say kind of just based off of what we normally see. But the shear and everything like that is definitely there. So one of the things we definitely look at is the shear, but we can look at the lightning density as things kind of move through the night here. We'll be able to, I'm in the wrong screen. We'll be able to see things as they move through, which is going to be important for the chasing aspect of things. Let me get rid of that pin. I thought it was gone. It'll save it no matter what, I guess. So as we kind of get through the night here, you see that we'll have a lot of lightning. This is going to be some pretty strong severe thunderstorms as they come through the area. Now, I say between 1 and 5. So this is the 1 o'clock time frame. You can see up here in the northern part of the county, we have a really dense area of lightning coming through the northern part of Wabash, the northern part of Huntington County around the 1 a.m. time frame. This is just lightning density. It's not really showing, hey, this is what's going to happen. But it's always a possibility. Significant tornado parameter. We're looking in that. I keep clicking on the wrong screen, guys, and I saw my face. It kind of freaked me out. So, but we kind of look in that same time frame. We can see that tornado potential right around just north of Kokomo and Miami County right here. The potential is there. And you see how it's highlighted over here on the right, down to the bottom right. So we have the possibility of a severe thunderstorm and the possibility of a tornado. So all the parameters are there for that to be able to happen. So we'll definitely have to keep an eye. If things shift, we can see that we have a rather large area up here just south of Aurora and south of Chicago, north of Kankakee, where things could definitely ramp up there. So as we get into the overnight hours and we see things really start to ramp up, we're going to be out. So I've been talking to one of our other chasers. I've been talking to Don about coverage tonight because we want to make sure that we're going to be out there. And looks like things are going to be coming from the northwest. So that's going to be important for us to have that ability to get out. One of the other things that I noticed that I haven't been able to get through some of our other um, tools that we use is the simulated infrared. And I did it again. And what this does, it kind of gives you that overall power feeling of what the storms could actually do. So we're kind of looking around that 1 o'clock time frame, 2 o'clock. We see how we have some of those deeper reds there, but up around Warsaw, we see things really start to pick up. Then we have some of those darker colors kind of give you that feeling of a supercell. And that is very well on purpose because that definitely could be happening. You see that just north of Warsaw there. And then it kind of moves down into our area around that 5 p.m. time or 5 a.m. time frame, excuse me. So that's really cool. I can compare models with this and everything. It's not really going to tell us anything right now, as things are getting very close. So, but as we looking up at the radar, um, we're still quite a ways away from anything getting to us. We still have this lovely tool. I don't know why it says I'm north of Warsaw right now, but we're 146 miles away. If this thing was moving right towards us, it'd be a lot faster right now. But so keep that in mind overnight tonight. Have a way to receive your warnings. One thing we'll talk about is the school bus tomorrow morning as we get back into the reflectivity. Maybe. There we go. We get around. That's not what I wanted. Do that. Let's back up. So there's your 1 o'clock time frame. We can see that we have some of that larger storm development just to our east, affecting the northeastern part of the county there. Hopefully you know where you're at there. But so we'll be watching that. And then as things move in from Warsaw and then kind of build back in, you can see how that all fills in from Chicago all the way down through to Warsaw and then kind of up towards Coldwater, Michigan. And then it drops in right along that 24 corridor out towards 30 and 24 and everything out there. So we'll definitely be keeping an eye on that as it moves through the county. We got some other storms on the backside of this. So as we get into our 7 o'clock time frame, kids are going to be out at the bus stop. Umbrellas look like they're going to be needed. It's going to be very important, probably. And then 8 o'clock time frame, kids are at school. We still got some rain in the area. So then we got round 2 coming on Monday. So that's going to be a second area to watch. I really don't like the data as we look at the models. The data is kind of shaky. It looks like it's going to stay off to our west. I believe it may actually shift quite a bit east. But we're going to have to watch for some of those rogue storms. And I say rogue because you get some of that forward development of the line. So, say if there was a line back there from, Peoria up through Chicago and you have that line up there near Valpo, or that storm pop up in front of the line, that's what we're talking about when we're talking about rogue storm development. So hopefully that answers your guys' questions on that. Anybody have any other questions that I can answer? This storm is going to stay north of us, up here just north of us. That is a severe thunderstorm watch, low tornado potential. And so 75 plus wind potential, 60 plus is a pretty moderate chance of that, and 1-inch hail is prevalent as well. So, but like I said, that should stay north of us until this evening, and then we'll be able to jump into that a little bit deeper once we get out chasing. So, got a little bit of work to do to get this put into the iPad. Hopefully, you guys like this. I like how it kind of pulls things together. It's not as gritty and grainy as we kind of zoom into some of the areas. We can get some of the deeper road values and things like that. And then lightning density and everything is tied into that as well. And then we can also get some of the alerts and things like that. So hopefully you guys like this. I really, really appreciate this platform and plan on using it a lot. I feel like it really kind of pulled together everything that I needed to do in just one spot. So it's faster, it's easier. We've been here 16 minutes and I covered an absolute lot of data. So We're looking at this from actually quite a ways away. We can pull it in to another radar and kind of look and see how things look a little bit closer. There's potential if you're out towards Lake Michigan, you could see some water spouts today. So keep that in mind. So that is all I have. If you have any questions about the weather coming up tonight into tomorrow morning, now would be the time to ask those questions. Severity is a high possibility. We will be out chasing. I say we, I know there's probably a total of 3 of us so far that I believe will be out chasing tonight. Yeah, pretty excited. This new platform just has me absolutely excited. So hopefully it has you just as excited as me. Gives me a one-stop shop and just gives me a little bit more comfort in what I'm doing. So, and if you're wondering how I'm doing, we'll kind of get on the soapbox on that. You'll see behind me over here, we got a trusty little walker over here. Got a wheelchair in the house. I have fallen quite a few times lately. Got a doctor's appointment coming up tomorrow to get an update on that. So now, one thing I will admit, text email alerts to right here, 226-787. If you haven't done that, it gives you good alerts. And it's a fast way to get alerts sent straight to your phone without having to worry about is Brad on or not. So it kind of looks like that when it comes to your phone. So, you know, dense fog advisory, severe thunderstorm warning. So if there's traffic alerts too, you get that. So sorry, it's mirrored, but those are really good alerts to get. If you haven't got that, please, please, please take the time to check that out. Haven't decided if I'm going to stick in the weather office tonight or not, and just kind of be the eye in the sky for our chasers. If so, this is where we'll be, and we'll be able to share our screen and share this new map data that we have. Or I'll be out on the road. So keeping you guys safe. So any questions, please let me know. Other than that, we're going to hop off here, but don't forget to text EMA alerts to 226-787. That'll get you going on that. And this is going to be a great tool. Let me show you guys real quick. I'm going to nerd out for a second. Hopefully you guys don't mind. This is going to be a great tool for this winter. So we can have the rain mix and snow intensity on here, which is something we lacked in the past, which is awesome. And then when we get in here, we got a lot of different weather things that we can look at as well as far as winter weather. So really excited for that. We know that's coming. I don't want to talk about it. You can't avoid it. We're only 3 months away from Thanksgiving. Yes, that's what it looks like right now. Dominic asked, is Columbia City being hit between 1 a.m. and 5 a.m.? That is exactly what that looks like. Let's pop the weather model up one more time. Gonna hit play. There we go. Get a little closer here. So as we get into the time frame, so 10 p.m. we got a little bit of rain showers and things moving into the area. So this could develop into those rogue storms, as we were talking about earlier. We're going to have to watch how they develop. If they can really pull together and start pop. That's new. All right. I don't like the storm slinky, but it says there's a possibility of a marginal tornado around 10 p.m. That's right here in Huntington. So looking up around Columbia City, let's look at the same thing. I mean, I don't really fall for that a lot. And that says the same thing, possibility of a tornado. Really not a great chance as far as it goes, but the possibility is there. So when we're looking at the slinky, I'm going to draw on the map here. We like to see a nice arc. Okay. That's a good chance that rotation is going to be able to produce something. This is really not clean, if that makes sense. Don't know what to do with that information right now. Give me 1 second. Oh, wrong button. Get rid of winter weather. We're not ready for that. So you can see the helicities up here right along 30. We'll have to see how that lines out. So what I'm talking about right now in the red is that cluster right there. Could give us a little bit of problem around the 10 o'clock hour. So whether in Kosciuszko, Whitley, Allen, Huntington, Wabash, or Wells County, we're going to keep an eye on that in that area around the 10 o'clock time frame. I didn't check that before, and I feel ashamed of myself that I didn't. Okay. All right, so we're gonna have to keep an eye on that 10 o'clock time frame as well. Tonight could be interesting, guys. So I'm gonna have to get used to how this dictates different weather. Half-inch hail, possibility of a tornado there as well. I don't like that. So I'll get on there and kind of play with the settings a little bit, so it kind of pops out to me a little bit more. I mean, I don't like how it's saying tornado everywhere. I mean, that's not going to happen. But there's a chance for 1-inch hail or greater tonight as well, so keep that in mind. As we kind of, this is kind of like some of the predicted hail tracks. It has changed a little bit. This wasn't there earlier. Oops. So I mean, this is, like I said, this is not an exact science. A little over 1-inch hail. So we'll definitely be keeping an eye on that as well. Some of the soundings have shown that we're going to get hail. So we'll definitely keep an eye on that as time goes on here. So I'm going to say from 10 o'clock on tonight is go time. It's going to be a long night for us. There's going to be a lot of coffee, maybe some energy drinks, and so if you see us on, there's something going on, and be more than happy to talk to you more about it. And we can go from there. Sorry, I'm still. Huh. So this is instability. If you're wondering what I'm looking at on the radar right now, that's instability. So this is a new platform for me to work off of right now. I believe that number's correct. I don't believe the soundings are correct. I'm gonna have to go dig into it a little bit more. But we'll be watching the radar very closely this evening, especially as we get close to that 10 o'clock time frame. If something does happen, you'll probably hear it from us first, because we're going to be out in it. So keep that in mind. I'm going to jump off here. I'm going to study a little bit more. Apparently, I need to, and we will get in a little bit deeper. So right now we're dealing with severe thunderstorm watches, possibility of a tornado watch tonight, possibly. We'll see how that goes. Um, they are saying the possibility EF1 up to 90 miles per hour in that zone up there near South Bend. So we'll definitely keep an eye on how things develop, and then we'll keep you updated later. If you have any questions, don't feel free to message us. Don't hesitate at all. I love talking to you guys. I got a few of you that message us quite regularly, and I appreciate it. So yeah, any questions, let us know. We'll be here for you. And I'm gonna go take a nap. It's gonna be a long night. I'll talk to you guys later.